So, are we continuing our talk about cholesterol today?
We are. We got such a huge response, and people were so interested in this cholesterol myth theory that I mean, it was such a huge response. I had no idea that so many people were that interested in learning healthy ways to, work on their heart and get their cholesterol to where it needs to be. And
Well, it's what you said.
yes,
It's you said some fascinating stuff that most people probably didn't know until they heard you say it.
well, today I have even more fascinating stuff, so that's really
Oh,
good. Now,
so this is going to affect people with high cholesterol, people who are worried about their cholesterol, people who are on cholesterol medicine, all of the above.
all the above, and people who are just worried about taking care of their body and living a long life and having their heart be healthy.
Okay.
And so last week I spoke about how
By the way, yesterday I bought jumbo eggs
good.
from Super One. And while I was buying eggs, I was thinking about you.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Just saying.
Very good. Eggs got such a bad rap. I mean,
That's why I bought them, because you
they
said.
really did. Yeah. I don't think that eating cholesterol causes our bad cholesterol to go up. That's been so disproven. That's what we talked about last week. And so we also spoke about last week about how cholesterol is actually good for your body. It makes up 25% of your brain. It makes up your nerve cells. It makes up your cell walls. And it's the building blocks for all the hormones in your body. So, cholesterol has a purpose. It's not this bad thing that you just want it completely out of your body.
Boy,
And
it gets a bad rap, doesn't it?
It does. And so it's there for a reason. And what really it matters, though, it's dependent on two things. It's dependent on the size and density of the cholesterol particle. And number two, that particle's relative stickiness gives you its ability to clog the artery. And so you have to look at these things. But basically, it has very little to do with eating cholesterol. That theory has been debunked by science over and over. And so I have some research today that I'm going to show folks that are attending my workshop tomorrow night. So for those that are just tuning in, I'm having a workshop tomorrow night on debunking some of these cholesterol myths and 4 secrets to living a long life with a healthy heart. And so,
boy, you got a lot of people showing up tomorrow.
I do. And so the truth is that if you look at your chance of dying from all diseases, and I have a graph tomorrow night that I'm going to show the audience of this, but it appears that the cholesterol around 240 is actually the perfect balance between having enough cholesterol to build what you need in your body and not too much to clog your arteries. And so, the idea of the lower the cholesterol is always better. If you look at the chances of dying from all diseases, it actually may not be. There is some research out there to show that as your cholesterol goes down below a certain point, your chances of dying from certain diseases actually goes up. And so I'll show you that graph. It's pretty amazing. I'll show you that tomorrow night. But we're also going to discuss some dietary research. And this dietary research is going to blow everyone's mind once I review this information. And it has to do with the theory on obesity and diet. And so for years, the theory on obesity was simply calories in versus calorie burned equals calories stored. We've kind of said that for years. So what that means is it simply means that if you have weight problems, you're either eating too much or not burning off and exercising enough. And that's not actually what I see clinically in my office, though. Most of my obese clients for my weight loss programs, they actually don't eat enough. And I've never been able to figure that out before.
Whoa, back up. What? They're obese?
They don't eat actually often enough, or they don't eat at the right times.
Okay.
But it's not that they eat that much food. I have people that have weight problems all the time going, I don't understand. I don't eat that much. Everybody thinks I overeat, and I really don't eat that much.
When you see people who are obese, and you've seen it on television shows, you think they don't eat much in front of you. When they go home, they must really, really eat.
And it's not, and they don't. And so this new theory actually explains why this happens, and it explains you can actually get something called insulin resistance. And what happens is the calories that you may eat actually get locked and unavailable to be burned as fuel. So,
wait, say that again?
So this is really cool science. So what this means is when you eat food and you have insulin resistance, your body may actually lock those calories away from being burned and store them as fat. And your body doesn't have access to go get them to burn them as fuel. And so they're behind sort of like this locked door, so to speak, and they can't run your body for fuel, so you get fatigued, and the machinery of your metabolism can't get the fuel, so it slows down, making you even more sluggish and storing more fat. And so your body physically cannot access these calories that you've eaten, so your body instantly stores them as fat, and it sort of gets locked away, and your body cannot access them. So
this may be a revelation for people listening to the radio.
It really is. I mean, it's amazing new research. And so the key to this problem is, how do we unlock the door, making these fat stores available for your body to go burn as fuel? And if we can do that, the metabolism goes up, the energy comes up, you start feeling like doing more things, and we can sort of stop this downward spiral and start it back up into the right pathway again. And so this is some cutting edge new research, and I'm going to show you all this research tomorrow night at the workshop on how your body actually is able to.
Oh, you big tease!
Is actually able to lock these things away. Now, the reason that I have to do that is because it's hard to show some of the charts and graphs and actually draw all this out on the radio. You know, charts don't work very well on the air. The air. So some of this I just can't talk about. It would take hours to sort of explain how a cell looks and how an insulin and the gates of insulin get locked into the cell. It'd just be really hard to do.
It's much easier if you're pointing to a picture.
It's much easier. Yeah. So, but there's a reason why people may suffer with obesity, and many times it's that they don't eat too much. I see this all the time in my office from weight loss clients. When I actually write down, I have them do a food calendar, and we'll have them write down what they actually eat. And so I'm going to tell you the secret to unlocking these fat stores tomorrow night at the workshop, and when we have all our graphs and charts and everything out that we can talk about. And so if you want to find out more about these topics and finally figure out the pathway to living a long, healthy, thin life, then you're going to want to come to this workshop tomorrow night. It is going to be absolutely revolutionary. And so it's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn across from the Cajun Dome. It's going to be tomorrow night at 7, and you can call 837-7174 to register. It's going to take about an hour to an hour and a half for the workshop. And when we get back from break, I'm going to read you some research. And listen, do not miss this second segment, because I'm going to read what a leading cardiac surgeon had to say about the new research on heart disease. And this is going to blow your mind whenever you see what the heart surgeons are now discovering about why your arteries are plaquing. I'm going to read it verbatim, what he actually said about it.
Can't wait. Doc Sin telling us all how to live a long, healthy, thin life.
Yeah, so I wanted to read some research by a famed cardiologist and cardiosurgeon, Dr. Dwight Lundell, and he wrote a paper entitled "What Really Causes Heart Disease," and this is a direct quote from his paper. He states, "We physicians, with all our training, knowledge, and authority, often acquire a rather big ego that tends to make it difficult to admit we were wrong. As a heart surgeon of 25 years, with over 5,000 open heart surgeries, today is my day to right a wrong with medical fact. We opinion makers insisted that heart disease was caused by elevated blood cholesterol. The only accepted therapy was medication to bring it down. Deviations from this recommendation of drug therapy was considered heresy and could possibly even be considered malpractice." He goes on, "These recommendations are no longer scientifically defensible. The discovery a few years ago that inflammation in the artery wall is the real cause of heart disease is leading to a shift in how heart disease should be treated." Think about that. So it's not cholesterol, it's inflammation. Now, who's been saying for 5 years on this show that inflammation is the cause of almost every chronic disease? And so, it's funny, like I'll say, I've been talking about this now for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden one of these heart surgeons will figure it out, and they're the smart ones. You know, it happens to me all the time, but that's fine. They can have credit. But the point is, they're getting it. We're starting to realize that inflammation is the precursor to almost everything that kills us. And so it's all about inflammation, folks. I say this every week on the show. Inflammation is killing us. My program is designed to stop inflammation in the body. So we have so many different ways. I mean, we have 5 or 6 different things that's really good at stopping inflammation in your body. And so stopping inflammation in your arteries, stopping inflammation in your cells, leading to diseases like heart disease and autoimmune diseases is the key to living a long life. How do we control inflammation in your body? Because as Americans, the American diet and our water supply and everything we take in our bodies and everything we breathe is very pro-inflammatory. So reversing that and getting us to be less inflammatory is a huge key to handling chronic disease.
So it can be reversed?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you can start doing anti-inflammatory things right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so controlling inflammation is the key. And the neat thing is to have a heart surgeon, a world-renowned heart surgeon, say that we now know we were wrong, that it's not cholesterol, it's inflammation. I mean, that is profound. When I read that, I was literally jumping up and down. It was like, hey, you know, the guys they're starting to understand, they're starting to get it, that it's inflammation causing these things. Same thing that I've been kind of harping on the show for a long, long time. And, you know, last weekend, I was attending a symposium by Dr. Dan Murphy, who's also a genius in this stuff. And he was saying that most medical treatments are around 17 years behind the cutting edge research that's out there. And so in other words, they can discover something and they can figure out something that needs to be changed. And it takes about 17 years to turn around the medical bureaucracy to, okay, we finally get it and we're finally starting to change our treatment programs.
That's almost a generation.
It is. And so
kind of like some meetings we have around here.
Yeah. So do you understand that's 1999? So we barely had internet or cell phones in 1999. And so medical treatments take that long to catch up to the latest cutting edge research that's out there. One of the really cool benefits of me and our functional medicine program is that we don't have this huge bureaucracy to deal with. We can take the latest research and jump right on it. We can take the latest techniques and just begin to do them. And so we don't have to wait years and years for the research to catch up. You know, we can take the very best technologies currently available, all without this outside influence of, no, we want you to continue to prescribe these things because that's the way it's always been done, and that's the way we want you to keep doing it. We don't have those outside influences to deal with. And so we can really take the best technologies and the current research and all the latest techniques out there and just really implement them. And so it's a really neat thing to have available in Acadiana, and I'm really excited to be such a big part of it. And so I want to encourage everyone out there that wants better heart health and truly wants to decrease their chances of dying from something major, attend this workshop. I think that you'll be blown away whenever you see how all of this new technology and research all fits together in one common sense treatment program. Because the thing is, if you just pick one of these things, it has a success rate. But if you take 5 things and each one of them has a high success rate and you do them all as one program, I mean, the results are amazing. So it's not just that we take one of these new technologies that shows to be effective. We have 4 or 5 of them and we do them all as one comprehensive program. And that's one reason why this thing is so successful, is because if we do 5 things and each one of them helps 20%, we're all the way there. That's 100% better.
Yeah.
So we don't have to find the magic bullet. We just have to do 5 or 6 things and all of them helps significantly, and then we're all the way there. And so if you want to register for the workshop, it's 837-7174 in Lafayette, and it's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn. Now, Dr. Fontenot is hosting the very same workshop in the New Iberia area, and if you're closer to that sort of south region and you want to attend the one in New Iberia, the number's 367-2567. It's the exact same workshop. It's just depending on where you live. If you live in the New Iberia area,
but people want to go. They want to see the little celebrity dog.
well, I mean, listen, it's the same workshop exactly. I mean, it's I just come and I have the privilege of being the one that comes and talks about this stuff. Dr. Fontenot is actually one of the geniuses behind a lot of this stuff, and so I'm better at talking about it, and he's actually one of the ones that's better at discovering a lot of this stuff, and so
But when you have more at your workshop, you can call him and say, ha 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 ha.
No, really, if you live in the Lafayette area and you want to come to the one at the Hilton Garden Inn, it's 837-7174. But if you're in the New Iberia area, you should really go to the one that see Dr. Fontenot. It's 367-2567. Or listen, you can find us both on Facebook at the Bryant Wellness Institute. You could catch us on the air.
And I'm just joking around. Dr. Fontenot is an amazing man.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I know you're just joking because
I am
he's real brilliant with all this stuff too.
I am just joking.
Yeah.
Most people should go to his workshop too.
Right.
But I bet more goes to you. Anyway, are you done?
I'm done.
Man, this is great. This is great. Some good stuff today.
Good input.
Again,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
So give the phone numbers out again because
All right.
this workshop is one of them. Yours, this is going to be one of the biggest ones you've ever done. I
It
believe.
is. It is, and we do have limited seats. So it's almost full already. So if you want to come, it's 837-7174 at the Hilton Garden Inn in Lafayette, or if you want to go to the one in New Iberia, it's 367-2567.
All right. Did Natalie have a good birthday?
She did.
She did.
Yes.
Your receptionist.
Yes.
Good. Tell her I said hello.
I will.
She's probably listening. Hello, little girl. All right. Wellness Wednesday. Thank you, Dr.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bryant Wellness Institutes.